Hey all, this is Amy from Motif Music Studios, and today I thought I would go live with SteamYard. This is a practice session, but I thought I would feature this Midwinter by Andrea Dow, which is a new free sheet music release from Wonder Keys just today. So we'll take a look. If you're just hopping on, make sure to say hello in the comments. And if you're watching this on a replay, you can say hi too, and we'll circle back around. So today I thought I would play Midwinter, and we'll start with that. And then we'll go over some teaching tips that might be helpful for you if you're teaching this or if you're learning this. And I love that even at an elementary level, we can look at a lot of different things about music making. So because this is a practice, I'll also have to be learning where things come in, like comments and seeing, oh yeah, I think I can see where that is. Anyways, I'll start. If anyone hops in, I'll be playing Midwinter by Andrea Dow. It's an arrangement of In the Bleak Midwinter. And you can see I'm here in my cool little closet space, which is my content creation studio, as well as my online teaching studio. So here we go. Hey, if you're just hopping on now, that is Midwinter by Andrea Dow. And if you are a Christmas music enthusiast, you'll recognize hints of In the Bleak Midwinter, a beautiful Christmas solo. So I'm going to dive in here. Hopefully you can let me know in the comments. And again, I don't know where to find the comments. So this is a practice session, so I might have to circle back to those later. But you can see on the screen is a picture of the sample. If you're new to Wonder Keys, then this is a free solo up today, and it lines up with the Wonder Keys pop staff that you can see here in the camera. And this is for a library for older beginners. It's suggested for ages 11 and up, and I know it's working wonderfully for seniors as well. And this is just a lovely arrangement that's free to the music community today. So let's take a look at this piece and what you might do if you were teaching it for yourself. So I have up here on the slide the sheet music, and you'll want to subscribe to their newsletter to get your own printable copy, but this is just a little sneak peek. So the first thing that we're going to look at, and I'm just finding my banners here, is let's chat about, let's chat about lateral side-to-side motion of the wrist in measures 1 to 4. So again, if you're just learning this on your own, you might not think about like, oh, what is my body doing when I'm playing different types or different parts of the music? So in the first line, I notice it has this perfect opportunity to be thinking about this lateral side to side motion of the wrist. So I'll have an example here. And it'll be a little harder to see because I haven't coordinated both cameras here. But when we're starting on the high E here, we're going, so down a third, down a fourth, G, C. And you'll be able to see this subtle E, C, F, C, G, C. And I'm just practicing that weight transfer. So weight transfer and lateral motion is one of the things I would be looking at as a teacher working alongside students. So I love that this gives the perfect opportunity for that. The next thing that I would be looking at is that introduction of the 8th note in measure 3. So we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I love that early on students can tap that out first, or they can think it through, however works best for them. So the next thing that I would look at is, I was hearing, and Jasmine, if you're listening in, I was thinking about how we're recognizing intervals in music, and a lot of music teachers and students will be thinking, okay, what's the interval here? So in the opening, we have E to C, and we could think about it like EC, or we could also think about it that that's a third. So sometimes we would think, okay, that's the distance of a third. The next one, F to C, is a fourth. And then we're reaching up to G, which would become a fifth from the C. So we're going third, fourth, fifth. So again, if you're starting into music learning and you're trying to read each note one at a time, that's another way you can build out your music knowledge. In measure 5, though, we look at the E, and instead of seeing that E to F is a second and F to G is a second, we can also start thinking of note grouping. So in this sense, we're going stepping up, or we have 3 in a series. So then our eyes start moving forward in the music, and we're not struggling to be reading note to note. And again, that takes time and practice, but that's something I might look at with students, is what direction is that note going? And again, I can't see actually if anyone is here. So I wonder how that works. So that's going to be something that I practice on my side. So if you're here, be sure to say hi, ask some questions, and I'll do my best to take a peek at those after the broadcast. Again, because this channel doesn't go live, there may not be anyone here quite yet. So then the next thing that we'll take a look at is in, I'll just hustle over. These are awesome. I can use banners. Thanks to Claire Sarah. I'm going to shout you out here for the encouragement to go live and to just practice going live, because just like being a piano practicer and just like honing your skills as a teacher when you're on YouTube and you're going live, that takes practice too. So the next concept that I wanted to look at was the pop staff concept. And in this piece, we're actually using the pop staff in the left hand from measures 5 right to measure 24 at the end. So I love that you can use this concept. So what it is when you see C on the screen, you'll be taking a look for a fifth. So an open fifth using C and G. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, F to C. So again, a fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to G. When you see the G is an open fifth to another G. So that would sound like this. I love the words for that. So that comes in my mind when I'm hearing that melody. So you can see at first, even an open fifth can be a challenge. So if you're new to music making and you're thinking, oh, why doesn't my hand want to move? There's a few things that you can do to make that work. You might want to practice just one line at a time and practicing just those shifts. The other thing that I sometimes get students to do is just to use your baby finger in preparation and practice just finding the anchor note. So we might find just C, go down and find just F, find just G, and then play G again. Now, it'll feel weird to do that with just your baby finger, but I would suggest doing that if your end goal is to play it hands together. So again, if you're hopping here on the replay, make sure to say hi. Going live is new to this channel, so there might not be anyone here yet, and that's okay because it gives me time to practice this. I'm loving this SteamYard layout, though. This is really great. So using that baby finger, finding those kind of anchor notes. The other thing you might encounter when you're looking at this piece is you might wonder at, where do you play those pop staff chords? So that's something I wondered even as a teacher. I thought, okay, so I've got my C, da, 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 in measure 5. But if I move up for the F pop chord, I'd go D, and then I'd have to share the C. Nothing is wrong with that, but I would suggest that you kind of plot out the sounds you want. So sometimes I moved up for them, and sometimes I moved down. For a musician that's been playing a bit longer, that might be easier to just pick on the fly. But if you were mapping this out with students, then I would suggest taking a look at that together and planning if you're going to go up for a pop staff chord or you're going to go down. The next thing that we could look at, I'll find my handy banners, is I was just going to ask if you've used the pop staff piano yet for an adult beginner or an older beginner. And if you have, let me know in the comments. There's a couple different ones. The first in the series, I'll pop it up here, is book 1. And there's also a sample pack for that. So if you are listening to this afterwards and want to hear about the sample of that, then let me know, because I can pop that up in the comments to direct you to the Wender Keys method and that free sample pack. And then these books are all available on Amazon exclusively. So the next thing, we already talked a little bit about weight transfer between the fingers as you explore legato, but I thought that one of the really lovely spots to do that would be those stepwise motion, like on measure 17. So we've got this moving upwards. And for students, once you know the notes, but even right away, you can think about the beautiful sounds you're creating. So you don't have to wait for, the fact of playing the whole piece before you make beautiful sounds. So one thing I think about is like, how is my balance at the key? So you might use finger 3 on E and feel like, oh, okay, does my hand feel balanced? Can I move it around, or is it feeling kind of rigid? So as you explore weight transfer, you're kind of like moving from E and then you're moving to F. And you're feeling like, oh, okay, I can kind of balance there. And your hand can gently follow without tension. So at first we are using, you're wanting to use your fingertips, should feel kind of lively and into the keys. But as you play more, you should have a kind of this relaxed feeling hand. And that takes time and effort to think about it, but also to give yourself freedom to just explore things like, how does it feel to feel balanced on a key? So that was something that I was exploring. So make sure to say hello in the comments if you want to see me scramble to try and find them, or if you're watching in afterwards, then let me know. I'd love to say hello. Let me know if there's another resource you'd like me to feature. So on this channel, I'm always featuring resources from contemporary composers and arrangers. So I love finding musical gems. Some of them are free resources like today, but also I love to make sure that composers get paid for their hard work. So there'll be lots that are really reasonable for what they are and high quality arrangements that you'll love to learn or love to teach. So just here at the end, thanks for being here. Make sure to subscribe if you found this helpful. And as I wrap up, I'm just going to play it one more time just for fun, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Thanks for helping me practice today. We'll see you later.